Good morning to everyone. Myself J. Gerald Janbritto, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Ramkursa Technology, Rajapalayam. So today I am going to take a topic of two-dimensional vector variable problems, axisymmetry formulae. So it comes under the finite element analysis. In previous topics, so I have mentioned the basics of axisymmetric element and axisymmetric component. So here I am just highlighting the major formulas we are going to use in the axisymmetry problem. Okay, so what are the major formulas we are using in axisymmetry? So every two-dimensional problem we are using the following three relationships. So I will tell one by one. So first thing is stress displacement relations. Okay, whatever the load applied over the component, so the general output is stress. So what is the relationship between stress and displacement? So that is very important. So sigma, as per the Hooke's law, everyone know that. So everything comes from the Hooke's law. Okay, in centimeter respect, centimeter itself. So we might have studied the basics of Hooke's law. So as per the Hooke's law, sigma equal to E into strain. Okay, this is the basic Hooke's law equation. Stress is directly proportional to strain within the proportional limit. Okay, this is a Hooke's law. So this sigma is replaced by sigma vector, stress vector. This E is nothing but Young's model, that is material property matrix. Here we are defining D as the material property matrix. So E is strain for particular element. So here the strain is for particular nodal value. Okay. So these three relationship define stress displacement relationship. Okay. Similar way, in next formula, again if you don't know about the strain value, we can find the strain by using the coordinate system. So where sigma equal to stress vector, D is stress strain relationship matrix, or otherwise constitutive matrix. Okay, E is strain vector. So here strain displacement relationship. So if you want to find the unknown of strain based on the known coordinate system, you can use this formula. Strain is equal to this strain displacement matrix, okay, into displacement. This two variables are vector, it is a matrix. So where B is nothing but strain displacement matrix. Okay, del is define the nodal displacement vector. Finally, if you see that the color itself, you can identify the similarity. This is the ultimate output we are aiming for any kind of problem. Sigma equal to D into E. If it is unknown, so we can find E through strain displacement matrix and the nodal displacement vector. If you replace these two parameters into this, so you will get the final equation. The final stress displacement relationship is sigma equal to, we can write the same D, B into nodal displacement vector. So this is the main formula we are using for the entire 2D finite element analysis problem. Okay, so it is very important. So every parameter can be changed. It is based on the selection of the problem, whether it is a plane stress condition, plane strain condition, axisymmetric condition. This is the general overall governing equation. Now we can move on to the axisymmetric condition. So in stresses axisymmetric condition, in previous slide itself I have mentioned this stresses. Okay, once again repeated: radial stresses, tangential stress, and also normal stress along the y direction. Sorry, y direction means z direction. Is shear stress RZ. Okay. So strains in axisymmetric element. Okay, if it is related to the stress value. If it is radial direction, radial strain will be created. Tangential stress means tangential strain will be created. Okay, this is that is axial longitudinal stress created in the z direction, so strain will be created accordingly. Then due to the shear stress in the RZ plane, so shear strain is created. Okay, this is what we have mentioned here. Okay, this is the overall formula. So already we know that. Now if you find the nodal displacement vector, okay, nodal displacement is nothing but, so every two-dimensional case the basic element is three nodal triangular element. So node number 1, node 2, node 3. Okay, so here I am giving small explanation. So it is node number 1. Okay, so at node number 1 we are having two displacement, okay, along the r direction, along the z direction. So u1 is along R, W1 is along Z. Okay, at node number 2 also U2, W2, U3, W3 in the node number 3. So that's what we have mentioned here. This nodal displacement vector del is equal to U1, W1. This U1, W1 indicate node 1 displacement. This U2, W2 indicates node 2 displacement. U3, W3 indicates node 3 displacement. Okay, so this is the general meaning of displacement in an axisymmetry component. Okay, next we can move on to the next slide. Okay, strain displacement matrix. So this is very important matrix. In the previously I have mentioned that B is the main relationship between strain and nodal displacement vector. Okay, B matrix is very important. So here I am not deriving anything. I am just giving the overall structure of the strain displacement matrix. So here you see that the structure of the strain displacement matrix is 4 cross 6. Okay, the size of the matrix is 4 cross 6. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, every 2 column indicates node 1. Okay, node 2. This is node 3. Okay, so the row indicates the stress vector or strain vector parameters. Okay, there are 4 stresses and 4 strain, so that will indicate the rows and columns. Okay, here first you should mention beta 1 0, beta 2 0, beta 3 0. It depends on the direction of forces. In second row you will get the parameter of alpha 1 plus beta 1 r plus gamma 1 z divided by r. Second next term is 0. Similarly alpha 2 plus beta 2 r plus gamma 2 z divided by r 0. Alpha 3 plus beta 3 r plus gamma 3 z divided by r 0. Next thing is horizontal displacement is 0. So vertical displacement gamma 1 0, gamma 2 0, gamma 3. So here you remember this is axial strain, axial stress. Okay, axial direction in the horizontal direction. Okay, this is tangential. Okay, remember that this is radial. Okay, radial. This is tangential. This is axial. So this is here. Okay, radial direction we are getting these parameters. In tangential direction we are getting these parameters. In axial direction we are getting, axial direction means vertical z direction. Okay, so we are having y directional parameters. The shear having both the parameters. That's what we have filling all the elements. Okay, first z, then r, z, r, z, r. That means gamma 1, beta 1, gamma 2, beta 2, gamma 3, beta 3. Okay, this is the basic meaning of this strain displacement matrix. Okay, next thing is what are the meaning of beta 1, beta 2 and beta 3. Before writing or before going to the entire meaning, always we should consider this trinodal triangular element in the counterclockwise direction. Okay, it is very important. Okay, 1, if you mention 1, automatically 2, 3, then 3 to 1. It should not be 1 to 3. Always 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 1. This is the correct way of defining the element. Okay, so you can see the explanation where 1 by 2a. So the where a is nothing but, okay, a indicates the area of the trinodal triangular element. 1 by 2, 1 r1 z1, r is the horizontal value, z is the vertical value. Okay, r1 is z1, r2 is z2, r3 is z3. These are all the coordinates. So here you see that r1 is z1 is the coordinates, r2 is z2, r3 is z3 respective nodal values. Okay, next thing, what is the value of alpha 1? So here I am giving simple representation and also how to remember the values of alpha 1, beta 1 and gamma 1. Okay, you carefully listen. If you remember alpha 1, you first write r2 z3 minus r3 z2. If you remember this two coordinate system, then you can write remaining all the data's value. Okay, r2 z3. If you write r2 z3, that means r2 z3. Then you put minus, then you shift, that means swap the numerical values. Okay, you write the same R is Z, then you swap the numbers. So R3 is first, 2 is second. So R3 is Z2. Okay, the similar way, next thing, okay, if you take alpha 2, here also you see that same you write R and Z. If you write 2, what is the next nodal value? 3. Okay, you write 2 then 3. Okay, if you return alpha 1 3, after the third node, okay, after the third node you will get the first node 3 2 1. Okay, 3 will become 1. Okay, again you rewrite this R and Z, then you swap these two numbers. Okay, you swap these two numbers. So here this one is first, 3 is second in the next term. Okay, the similar way, okay, you write the alpha 3. Again you rewrite R and Z. 3 is mentioned in the previous term. Once you return 3, what is the next node? 1. Okay, here we can write 1. Once you write the Z1, what is the next node? 2. Okay, Z2. Okay, so here again you rewrite R and Z. You swap these two numbers. Okay, you swap these two numbers. So R2 Z1, R2 Z1. Okay, you can remember very easily for the value of alpha. Similar way, okay, I will explain about the beta and gamma. It is simple thing. Okay, so here first initially I have shown beta 1, beta 2 and beta 3. After that I am explaining one by one. So this beta 1 can be written as Z2 minus Z3 from alpha 1 value. You just rewrite Z2 minus Z3. Okay, you write from Z2 minus Z3. Next term Z3 minus Z1. Okay, beta 2. Beta 3 Z1 minus Z2. That's all. Clear? It is easily written by using the alpha values. Okay, in similar way, you see the gamma 1, gamma 2 and gamma 3. The same. Okay, I can mention in the different colors. Okay, here this R, okay, R3 minus R2, that is for gamma 1, R1 minus R3 for gamma 2, R2 minus R1 for gamma 3. Okay, it is very simple. Okay, we can write it from alpha values for beta and gamma. The last, what are the remaining unknown parameters? R and Z. So this is average value. Okay, R is nothing but R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 divided by 3. It is the average of the radial directional coordinate system. Z also Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3. It is also average of the axial directional. That means longitudinal axis coordinate average values. Okay, these are all the basic main equation in the axis symmetry component. So I have given small tips for how to remember the values. Okay, so but this formation we should write, okay, based on our derivation. I will later on I will post the derivation. Okay, so what is the stress strain relationship matrix or constitutive matrix? So D also important parameter as we have mentioned previously. Okay, this D is nothing but E by 1 plus mu into 1 minus 2 mu. Okay, 1 minus mu is 0. So the diagonal values are same, 1 minus mu, 1 minus mu, 1 minus mu, 1 minus 2 mu by 2. This is for axisymmetric element. Okay, so if you write above the values, okay, mu 0, you can write the transpose symmetry. So the matrix also symmetry. Here you can see the same value, mu also same. Okay, so 0 0 here, 0 0 0 here, 0. Okay, this 2 is symmetry, these two elements are symmetry, this 0 is symmetry, this 2 mu is symmetry, this 2 0 is symmetry, this 2 0 is symmetry. Okay, it is very simple. Okay, so E is Young's modulus value in terms of gigapascal, mu is Poisson ratio. Okay, so this is the overall equation, that means formulas used in the axisymmetry component. Okay, it is very important in the axisymmetry problem while solving the real world application problems. Okay, thank you very much. So this is overall structure of our college infra. Okay, so currently online application is going on for admission. So you can access this website for any queries. You can apply through online using the site also, and you can call at any numbers. Okay, you will get any clarification regarding admission. Okay, thank you.